Hello students, today we will discuss about the concept of binocular vision. Okay, so what is binocular vision? As you all know that whatever we see through our both eyes, that is our binocular vision. So right eye image is formed by right eye, left eye image is formed by left eye, but together we see it a single image. So that is your binocular single vision. Okay, so we humans have binocular single vision, so that is the reason we can see three-dimensional view of an object. Okay, our eye acts as a sensory motor unit. So the sensory system transmits and elaborates the visual information received about the outside world. That means whatever we see from in the space, suppose an object is there in the space, so the rays of light falls on our retina. Okay, so that is our sensory system, and when the rays are fallen on our retina, the rays are transmitted from the retina. It is by the visual pathway it reaches the brain, right? So then the brain gives the instruction to see the object or visualize the object. That is our motor system. So the motor system has no independent significance, and it is only for the service of the sensory system. That is, it helps the sensory system to view. That means what is our motor system of our eye is the oculomotor system. That means our movement of the eyeballs. So whenever we see any kind of object of interest out in front of us, what happens is like our eyeball moves. Okay, so this movement of the eyeball, that is our motor system. Okay, so by this movement of our eyeball, quickly that object's image focuses on the retina. So that's how the motor system of the eye works. So our eye works as a together sensory motor unit. So the image, rays of light from the objects falls on the retina. Okay, and then what happened? By the visual pathway it reaches the brain, and then we perceive the image. So this is fully a sensory motor system. The motor system helps to enlarge the field of view by transforming the field of vision into the field of fixation. What is the field of fixation? Fixation means whenever you fixate an object, that means you are seeing an object, you are trying to track that object. Okay, so if the object is moving, you are trying to track the object, right? So that is your field of fixation and field of. So if the object is moving, you need to move your eyeballs, right? So that is a task of our eyeball, to make the object visible within our visual system. Okay, and also it brings the image of the object of attention onto the fovea and keep it there. It also positions the two eyes in such a way that they are properly aligned and at all times, thereby it maintains the single binocular vision. Now let's talk about subjective visual direction. Okay, so there are two things. Okay, one is called the physical space and another is called the visual space. So what is physical space? Is whatever it is, matlab what are already existent, that is called the physical space. So let's take the example of a classroom. Okay, so in the classroom is this physical space. The students sitting in the classroom are the objects of interest present in the physical space. Now I am a teacher, so I am observing the students. The way I am observing the students, that is my how I will observe the students, or how it will be visualized in my eye, that is my visual space. That means it depends from the person to person. So suppose I am sitting in the middle of the classroom, I will perceive the student from my place in some way. If I move a little bit, I will perceive in a different way. And also it depends, the visual space differs from person to person. The direction in which a visual object is localized is determined by the directional or spatial values of the stimulated retinal element. So this is all about physical space and subjective space. So physical space or objective space, subjective space or visual space is depending on the subject. That means how the person will visualize or perceive the object. That is your physical and visual space. Visual pathway, you all know that the image falls on the retina and the nasal and temporal side of the image. They meet in the optic chiasma by the optic nerve. Okay, in the optic chiasma they are switched. Okay, and then the right eye is nasal side and left eye is temporal side will fuse together after the optic chiasma, and the vice versa in the other eye. Okay, so this information will reach the optic visual cortex through the optic radiation. Now let's talk about the third eye or cyclopean eye. Okay, so what is a cyclopean eye? Do we really have a cyclopean eye or only gods have? Yes, we do have a third eye. It's nothing but an imaginary eye. Okay, so cyclopean eye or the third eye is nothing but an imaginary eye, which is a combination of our right eye and left eye together. So see, one image is formed by the right eye, one image is formed by the left eye. So practically we should see two images, that is diplopia or double vision. So but that is not happening. That is our cyclopean eye. So through like our third eye, as if we are having a third eye which is visualizing which is combining the two images into one single image. Okay, so suppose you are looking through the window. Okay, with the right eye you are seeing a house, with the left eye you are seeing a tree. Now by the cyclopean eye or this, what will happen, we'll have a simultaneous perception. That means we can see the tree and the house together at a single point of time. So that is called simultaneous perception in case of if we have a dissimilar object. Okay, but if we have a similar object, we'll have a fusion. Okay, so for dissimilar objects we'll have simultaneous perception. That means we are perceiving the two objects at the same time. Okay, sir. So that is your simultaneous perception.